Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening from whenever you're calling in from or watching this recording from. How was your week? How was your weekend? We're expecting another beautiful week, this new week that we're getting into. Expect to see some major moves in the market. As you can see on my screen, from Monday down to Friday, we see news releases happening all over the place. Again, because I want to make this call really, really brief, I'm not going to really dwell on the news releases, but just know that you have a number of high impact news this week, from Monday down to Friday. The one of the pairs we'll really be looking at today, I mean this week, will be the Aussie dollar. So that's AUD, which will be paired with AUD, yen, and the rest of them. But just have a look at what the news is going to be like this week when you have the time to your own private um, um, time of trading time. So starting off, the first one I really want us to look at, in fact, a couple of the AUD pairs. I'm expecting them to be a bit bullish, starting from AUD Swiss franc. I'm expecting this. If you can see, just it looks that inverted head and shoulder is showing off and is actually happening at a key level. So straight, like I said, and I'm not going to waste time at all. I'm just going to show you what I'm expecting to happen in the market. So I'm expecting a buy on this pair. So I'm expecting this to come back into that zone and then take me up there. That is what I'm expecting for that pair for this week. Um, Let me see if I can get my tonight, my drawing things out. So that is what I'm expecting for this week. For the next one is the AUD yen as well. AJ, same thing. I'm expecting inverted head and shoulder on a key level. So what I'm expecting as well is for price to break out of this level to get into this level retest, possibly test here, or who knows, maybe just break above, and then the next level would be that level, or it may just give us, just that enough, that level, just like we saw on the a pair. I'm just going to show, I think, the euro card that we saw, and then it came back down. So we may see that move, this move, that move, and then a return. So we don't really care. What we really need is to see that breakout and then retest. Then we can look for a buy to the upside. And if we can secure that buy, then we can take profit and possibly look for more trades, possibly coming down or upside. But I think I'm more particular about the upside price continuing to the upside. So I won't be taking a trade until I see that break above. Same thing here. I won't be taking a trade here until I see a break above. Remember, break above retest. Without it, no trade for me, just to limit my losses and then maximize my winnings. So NZD Swiss franc, see the same thing, kind of um looking out here. You can see it clearly, inverted head and shoulder again. Another one of those pairs I'll be looking at this week. I have a few pairs I'm really looking at. So that one might see a break above again for continuation to the upside, or reject for, yep, that reject for it to come back down. Who knows? But more particularly, this is the first important trades, always the first ones that really make sense to us. So we just look for that trade, retest, and then that one. Then we can see, after you've secured that bag, you can look for more trades, either the downside or the upside. Or before then, we can again remember how I always post analysis when they occur. So I'm going to show, after that trade, I'm going to show more analysis as they occur. Now for this one, we were expecting this to break. Yeah, I told you guys that that's going to happen, and then the retest and continuation, although it didn't come back into that level that I expected it to before returning. It's already returning, but I wouldn't take this trade. Now, if I'm to take this trade, my best place to enter this trade will be to wait for this trade to come back into this level. Why is that? Because, guys, if you look at it, this is where it broke out. Excuse me. This is where it broke out of, that's the level it broke out of, most especially this level. This is where it broke out of. So my best trade will be to put my sell limit here for price to come back into it, so I can look for my trade to the downside. I wouldn't really be bothered about taking a trade here. You only want to enter here if you're trying to get an early entry at this level, Yeah, so possibly your stop loss here, or maybe your stop loss above here, possibly have another sell limit down here. But more importantly, if I'm to take this trade, I would really look for this level much more. It offers me much more risk to reward. So it means if I miss this, I won't really be bothered. I'm just gonna let it go, you know. So this for this trade, I say look for sell at this level. Look for price to come back into that level, and then you can look for a sell. You know that this might look like a double bottom, but I don't. It's not at a key level. At the key level would be for me a double bottom at this level would be a key level for me to look for a trade. For here, I wouldn't look for a double bottom at this level, but you can still do that. You can look at it on the lower time frame. So just trade it back to the upside if you can get a trade like that, or even back at this level before that possible downside that we're expecting. So what that means is that your trade now, if you're to trade it, you still have to wait for this neckline to be broken so that you can take your trade there, so that you can TP at. So that's for that one. Um, GBP AUD, this is that trade we're waiting for. Saw it coming down. We saw it at this level. We said, okay, it definitely has to go back up for it to continue down, and that's exactly what it did. But it didn't go as low as as high as we expected. We wanted it to go back into that level so that we can see a continuation, but it kind of fell short. But as you can see, it hasn't broken the previous low yet, so we're still good. We're still good. So right now, if it comes back and breaks this level, so possibly just want to wait, see a good retest, all of that levels, just wait for C price, come back into it, you know, see price break out of that level, then come back into it, then you can look for your further sell to the downside. So maybe I'll just draw like a rectangle around that zone, you know, it's quite big though. So, but just need to cover all bases to make sure price breaks out of, because it still has a long way to go anyway. So price breaks out of that. Where's my alternate? True. So price breaks out of that altogether, comes back into it. Then you can look for your trade to the downside. Or you still have that trade here that hasn't triggered yet. You still have that here. So you can let it be. And then your stop loss, remember your stop loss will be up there. But if for some weird market reason price comes back and hits it, it's not straight enough, comes back and hit it, then possibly continues, just consider that a loss and then move on to the next trade. You know how we do. We don't always know what trade price is going to do, but the only thing we can manage is our stop loss. Another one is I think I should, before I look at that, let me look at AUD USD, because this were there were two trades. I think it was this one, and okay, it was this two. Was it just two now? So I think it was three of them that I was really looking at last week. These three pairs, was waiting for this to come back into that zone and drop, and then for this as well to come back into that zone and drop. They both played out, but not exactly as we expected them to. The third one was this one. I was, remember guys, I said this head and shoulder was going to play out. Price is going to go up his previous level and then return. Yep, kind of played out as we said, but unfortunately, it didn't give us the trade that we wanted to. Remember, I said this was going to go back here and then come back. What did it do? You can see it went up. Head and shoulders. Again, you can't always get it perfect. Remember, I said it that if you guys remember, I said that that is not easy to get a perfect head and shoulder. You know, that if it happens, it will be so perfect, so a perfect head and shoulder will be for price to come back perfectly into that level, previous high, or say previous low here, retest it and then come down. Yeah, price did what it did, came as close as it, and then it's playing out. Now all is not lost. If you missed that entry like I did, all is not lost. You still have a trade. Your trade will be, as this is breaking out, your trade is here. So I'm gonna set in my sell limit at this level, 1.060750. I'm gonna set in my sell limit at that level to express price to continue to the downside. So I'm expecting a total of if we can get that entry, yep, if I can get a good trade to the downside, 300, almost 400 pips, if this plays out, remember, he may not give you 400 pips without a fight. So he's definitely going to fight. So it means if you enter at a good point here, you don't have to be worried about it. There's a trade. Was it this one now? Okay, this was one trade that was quite painful for me. I kind of took profit halfway. So I took an entry at this level, somewhere around here, I think, and it got so high, and then it started coming down. I came as low as this level, and I got a bit. I was like, I'm not prepared to lose all of that money that I've accumulated. Then I took my profit. Yes, it came low again. I think it actually came low and kicks me out of the markets in profit because I pushed it in. And then what did you see? They started pushing up again. So sometimes that may happen. They would push the boundary because they know that a lot of people are going to possibly put their um stop losses somewhere here. They're going to push it, so it saves them money as well. So anyways, it happens. So those kind of things is what to expect in the market. So it may just come in and then push all the way back up before continuing to the downside. So just don't expect to get your complete 400 pips in one go. They're going to put up a fight. So NZD USD, remember guys have been looking for that inverted head and shoulder for like forever. It's been playing out, going up and going down. So right now, this is where we're at. We're still waiting for that move to the upside. We're not going to stop looking for it. That came back down, came up. We were waiting for that to break up into it and then go up. And thank God we didn't take a trade there. Remember, guys, I said you have to see a breakout and a retest before you take a trade. So that didn't happen. Price rejected and continued to the downside. Now, this is what I'm still waiting for. I don't have any reason to enter this trade at this level. Yep. So some might say yes, double bottom, possibility, yes, which is still good, which would be like a confluence for the trade, the inverted head and shoulder that I'm waiting for. So this is where I'm looking for a trade. So I want price to break that level, come back into it. So you can let it play out, let it break that level. Then you can set either your sell limit here, or your buy limit there, or here. But your stop loss, possibly, who knows? I don't know what else would another low will be created anyway for you to decide where will be your stop loss, somewhere around here. All right, so that's for that one. AUD NZD. AUD card, am I looking for that trade? Yep, this trade I was thinking, okay, the push was so great that I was expecting this to break down and then continue to downside because of that push, because they've been trying to pull. When they pushed down, the bulls pulled it up, but they kept pushing it down. They tried again, they kept pushing. So I was like, okay, I think these guys are strong enough to to keep pushing this thing down. But again, that doesn't mean that they've stopped pushing, because these guys are pulling it up now, as you can see. But look at the price action all throughout that movement. See, it's just been happening, So for me, okay, for me to believe that, okay, for me to believe that this will continue up, I have to see this break into this level, just like we're expecting to happen here. So wait for this trade to come back into this level. So this is where you get your trade. So wait for that 0.91990. Yep, that's your trade right there. So ignore all of that. Or let it go. Come back into it, then you can trade that level. If it breaks above that, then you can trade that level, or possibly look for this level first. Yep, before you can look for that level. Yeah, but generally we're still waiting for that upside from the big move, So if that happens, if it doesn't happen, and then price keeps coming down, then we have that downside waiting for us. But if we just need to see a clear break, let me bring that so you can see what I mean. Need to see a clear break to the downside, because I think it's about 500 pips or thereabout. Yep, 500 pips, 516, 10 pips. And then if that continues to the upside, I said 500 pips as well. So we'll wait and see what price offers us. Some good entries. We have good levels that we to look for entries, this level and this level. Yep, so that's AUD card. Euro NZD, guys, remember this trade. They picked us out at this level. They played a fast one on us on this level. although it wasn't a loss anyway, because we said it's gonna break and reach. So if you took a trade at this level, you wouldn't have really lost anyway, because it came back into it and then pushed to the upside. It gave you a win. So let me see, if you took it, this would have been how much? 100 plus pips. So if you took it, that would have been a massive win as well. So, but now it's coming down based on that price action that we saw happening, that move, excuse me, that move. So we're still expecting this to continue to the downside. So how do we trade this one? Right now, we saw that inverted head and shoulder play out. So we're waiting for it to play out. I even thought it was going to go as far, possibility of it going as far as this level and then continuing to the downside. But if you look at it, it just measures well anyway. Measures almost complete, if you ask me. Well, not very almost complete, but not quite. Almost 100 pips. Let me see. Yeah, that's 150. How many is this one? So if we taking the trade from here, yeah, almost 90 pips. So it wasn't so bad if you wanted to consider this an inverted head and shoulder. It played out well, you know. So right now our trade would be to wait for this level to be broken. Again, if a move has started this long, I usually don't like bothering myself about it any longer. It's already done how many pips already? It's already come down 300 pips, so I best look for a very key location to take a trade than to look for it in the middle of a trade. Trust me, I know how to ignore trades, so but if you want to take it, the best thing for you to do to take this trade would be to wait for this level to be broken, because that's the previous low. So it got to be 4. So wait for that level to be broken, then that would happen. Then if that breaks, then it will continue to the downside. Otherwise, wait and ignore it altogether, because it's already begun to make its move, So, but some other things may play out. Price may come here if this is not clear. This is another key level, so you can look for your trade at this level. Yep. Or it may just come as low as this level and then push up again, or push up like this again before continuing to the dance. But price will always give us what to trade. Price action would happen. I mean, price will will paint itself out. So will give you opportunities or data for you to be able to trade. But right now, the only data we have is that level that I showed you, price coming back into it and then coming down to that level that we identified. Yep, that's that one. NZD app. Okay, so look at this guy, yeah. Crazy thing. We were expecting that what's it called, double bottom to play out. It did play out. It played out. We saw it, saw that move, we saw that move, saw that move, saw that move. So it came up and retested, and we said, good trade. We jumped in, and all of a sudden pushed up, and what happened? This happened. So we had a stop loss somewhere around here that would have taken us out of the market. This is one of those ones you consider a loss. But what happened after it fell? It continued pushing to the upside. Yes, these things happen, guys. These things happen. Right now, you wouldn't even trust it to say, okay, I think I'm going to start taking it at that level. Okay, so if you did, yep, that would have still been good. Would have gotten, because it's broke out, came back into it. Let me see, show you that. You see, so broke out, came back into it, and now it's forming a trade. So if you missed it, another good level maybe to look for trade, maybe this level here. You can see it. So if coincides with this level, so could look for your trade at that level. So that's another level to look for a trade. If you missed this one right here, so again, it's one of those moves that's already begun, but if you still want to take it, so let it come back into it, and then that is your trade. Your trade is at 0.6722220. So to terminate at this level, and then if that breaks, and then can taking it to the upside. So your main trade right now is to wait for that level to break and retest. Yep. Again, you don't have to take it if it's already begun its move. GU, same thing. We're waiting for that inverted head and shoulder to play out. Did you guys remember? We're looking at it. Yeah, it did and then we saw that, and then it dropped this, it did this massive drop down, and now it's pushing up again. Not a problem. We still have opportunity to take this trade, which is at this level. So let it break out, then come back into it. Then we have our trade. This thing messed us up a lot. Played with our head a lot. We tried and tried and tried to get a good entry from the bottom. Yeah, they kind of put one in at this level, but I missed it. I didn't take it. So now, so wait for that to happen, and then you can take it to the upside, and then who knows, it might be headed towards the to the moon. But if that happens, then you'll be in good win. Let's see, what else do I have there before? Okay, UD, am I looking for this move? Yeah, pretty much the same thing, really. Just to see a push into that level based on that played, but didn't really give us that continuation trade to the upside. Short was fell short. So I would say it's not really a good place for me to look for. Let it do its thing. Let it come out. I wouldn't really trust this one anymore, because it's one of those slow moving um snaily pairs that I don't like anymore. So if you, I would say trade it, but then see that what happened here, came back into it and then failed. It's been failing. So you can either ignore it or let it come out that trend line. Then you can look for your trade at that level. It's much more beneficial. It's much more safe to look for a trade when it breaks out of that trend line, and then can look for your trade to that level. Or again, you can wait for that to happen. Then you can look for your trade at this level, a much more safe level. Yep. So I said I wasn't gonna make this too long. Let me see what else I want to look at before I call it a night. USD card, yeah, saw that happening. Break and retest. Yes, broke, retested, and now it's heading down. Same thing here. Look for break above retest. So it broke above, retested, and dropped, but this was still within a good place. So if it breaks above again, might be looking for a trade there. Euro Swiss franc was another one that we were looking at because of that. Excuse me. Because of that, let me take this to the downside. Yeah, because of that move, all of that move that has been happening, and then we were waiting for that to happen. Yes, it did happen. Broke out of that trend line. Now it's headed down. So if you're not in this already, just ignore this one for now until it pins more opportunities. So I'm going to stop this one right here so I don't make this too long, but I'll send out the charts tomorrow, and just keep us updated as the trades occur. If you have any question, guys, just send it to the platform and I'll be there to answer it. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you guys on the other side. Have a lovely night. Bye bye.